2 weeks ago.
Call this meeting to order. Reverend Chappell, if you would present our invocation.
I want to invite everybody to take a deep breath in and exhale. Let us pray. Gracious God, we are thankful for another day, another breath, oh God. And we're thankful for your mercies, which are new every day. God, we thank you that we are your children, that you have assured us that while we are intent upon your will, you'll heed our wants. So fill us with that compassion for others' troubles, which comes from forgetfulness of our own, with the charity of those who know their own unworthiness, and with the glad hope of the children of eternity. Grant these councilmen and women the ability to share that compassion, charity, hope with each other, with all who gather here tonight. Bless them in their work as they seek to care for our city and all its inhabitants. And instill within each one of us a sense of your grace, justice, and mercy. We pray especially, O God, over those who have no shelter, who are cold this evening, who need the basic things, O God, food and water. We pray that you would use us to help. Stir within us, O God, to do your will. Trouble our hearts until we do the hard and holy work, until we live in forgiveness and mercy. And to you, the beginning and the end, Lord of the living, refuge of the dying, be thanks and praise forever. Amen. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend Chappell. Sorry for taking you away from Ben and Annie's bedtime. We move into the reading of the minutes. Item A, minutes from the regular meeting, the sine die on January 13, 2026. We have a motion to adopt those minutes as written.
So moved.
Second? Second. All right. Any discussion?
Per the changes, I think we need to incorporate those, the adopted minutes with the changes presented. Just that it was a correction on the terms and the vote number.
I believe that those are for item B. Is that correct?
Is that B?
Yeah, that's B.
Okay,
B.
my apologies. I had the wrong meeting.
It's all right. It's not terribly clear. So any further discussion on item A? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The motion carries. Moving on to item B. So first, do we have a motion to adopt the minutes?
Motion to approve the minutes?
Second?
Second.
Motion to amend the minutes? Or any discussion? I actually have a motion to amend some, but so I'll make the motion to amend the minutes as presented to us on December, or on the sheet in front of us. The two edits are that we're changing motion died to motion failed on the city attorney appointment. The second correction is to reflect a 6-0 vote rather than 7-0 on item P because Councilman Thompson had recused himself. Second edit is the December 9th minutes were amended to reflect an error that Councilwoman Jenkins opposed item J, so the vote was 6-1. I had two further minor edits. One is that on paragraph 3 of the appointment of the city attorney discussion after motion died, that would be Councilwoman Jenkins said. Those are both, the point of order and of privilege are both actually points of information, minor edit. And then also in paragraph 14, the last paragraph of that, to remove the reference to executive session, that's not, that was an error of speech and is not eligible for executive session. So with those edits, can I get a second for those edits?
I've got a question.
Yes.
Are we handling these at the same time, or are we handling these one at a time? January.
Yeah, we had a
15th
second.
B?
Yeah, we need a motion. I made a motion to amend, and we need a second. Jim, was that a second for the amendment on the
He
motion?
had already made a motion.
No, I'm following the agenda to
Yeah.
make a motion to approve item B. Do you want to change the agenda?
I'm making a motion to amend item B, to amend the motion. So we're amending the motion to include these changes to be reflected on item B, Jim.
Okay, I understand that.
Yeah,
And could you state what those changes were again? I'm trying to find that exact spot.
absolutely. So we've got the two that were given to us by the city manager's office.
Yep, I saw those.
Those, and then the other two were just that on, so the third paragraph under motion died on the city attorney, that was Councilwoman Jenkins said that she thinks. On there's a point of order and a point of privilege. Those would both better be noted as points of information. Minor thing, but just a clarification. And then on 14, there's which is the last paragraph of that item, there's a reference to discussion in executive session. That's not an eligible item for executive session, so I think that was a misunderstanding. And I'm asking that be removed because we did not discuss it in executive session and wouldn't have been able to do so.
Okay. So there was a motion and a second, so what you're doing is making a
I'm making a motion to amend the
amend
motion.
The motion.
Yes.
And so you'll need a second in
Yes.
order to amend the motion that's already been made.
Yes. And then
Second.
okay. All in, any discussion of the amendments?
Now, that's for all 4 changes.
Yes, that's for all of the amendments altogether. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion to amend carries. Now we need to, motion to adopt the minutes. Can I get a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Second? Second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Item C, the amended minutes. We have an amendment to the minutes from the regular meeting on December 9th, 2025. Could we get clarification on what that amendment is?
It's an error in capturing my vote correctly on December 9th. I did not actually
Oh,
vote for
those-
that.
Apologies. So that is the second item. So the December 9th minutes were amended to reflect an error. Councilwoman Jenkins opposed on item J. Can I get a motion to accept that amendment?
Second?
Second, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right. We move into reports of boards and commissions, and into appointments for that. I wanted to clarify on this as we move forward, just so that the people in, the audience and the voters of Newnan know. The way that we normally do our appointments is we kind of circulate through those to make sure that each member of the council has an opportunity to name people to the various boards. That's been on kind of a rotating basis for a long time. That's not in the charter or the ordinances, but it's been a good way for us to make sure that these are appointed in a way that reflects everybody. We normally do the same with the mayor pro tem position. We did deviate from that in the last meeting, but that is how we normally carry out these appointments. So moving into item D, Christmas Commission. Do we have an appointment for that spot on the Christmas Commission?
I need to put that on the next agenda, please.
Okay. So continued. Item E,
Next agenda, please.
all right. Item F. Development
Next
Authority.
agenda.
Okay. Ethics Commission,
I have one of those appointments.
okay.
I'd like to nominate Patty Queen Harper.
Second.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right, seeing none, that carries. And then one appointment to the Tree and Parks Commission.
Could I request that we postpone that for?
Continue to the next meeting?
If we do the 2 meetings?
Yeah.
Thank you.
And then I have one that's off agenda.
Okay, make the motion.
As you all know, Dr. Danny Allen was on the Bicentennial Commission and passed away. And so I now have a new person to put on that commission. So I would like to nominate Lily Smith.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right. We move into reports on operations by city manager. Oh, pardon, where's the,
Youth Council.
oh, the youth council. We have some members of the youth council here today to be recognized.
Let me put my glasses on so I can see y'all. It's that way these days. All right, we have members of the Newnan Youth Council present today. They are our official youth voice, and so one of the things they have to do as part of their requirements is come to a city council meeting, then go back to the youth council meeting, tell them what happened, so that they can see how we conduct business and learn from what we do, hopefully, today. So with us, we have, and when I call your name, please stand. Have Jordan Jackson, a junior from East Coweta. We have Drake Strickland, a junior from Northgate. We have Greer Brady, sophomore, Newnan High. We have Adeline Craver, sophomore, Newnan High. Darden Lee, sophomore, Newnan, and Taylor Lynch, sophomore, Newnan. Thank you all for being here.
Thank you. Now we move into reports on operations by the city manager.
Mayor, council, as you know, a lot of preparation went in last week for the potential winter storm, and we were fortunate that we didn't have any. Thoughts, prayers go out to the people who were impacted, but I just want to acknowledge the staff put in a lot of work last week, from Public Works to facilities, police and fire in preparation. Also want to shout out to our cooperation with Quid County and their EMA. We were ready. Unfortunately, we didn't have to use it. Just want to say thanks to everyone for all those efforts.
Stay ready.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for the
Great
hard
job.
work on that.
Well, first off, thank you so much to the city, first off to our city manager, Cletus, and to our staff here. Mr. Michael Fouts is here from the county. I want to thank the county for all of your help on everything that we had moved forward and staying in contact with us. Same goes to Dr. Evan Horton and the members of the school system who were incredibly communicative, very responsive, as well as our teams from Newnan Utilities, who were very much on top of it. And even though we're grateful that we weren't hit by that, I have every confidence that we would have been very prepared for even the worst that was forecast. So thank you all very much. Also, very quickly, I talk a lot about accountability and transparency. At the last meeting, I made a comment, which was made in jest, but about Clay Neely, who's here today. It was a flippant comment made in jest, but it was inappropriate from the chair. And if you can't take accountability for yourself, what's the point of you? So Clay, I apologize. I did call you the morning after to apologize, but things said in public should be apologized for in public. So Clay, I hope you accept my apology. And then finally, I wanted to, last week as we were swearing in at 2:30, or 2 weeks ago when we were swearing in at 2:30, my aunt who had come down to see my swearing in was actually in emergency surgery over at Piedmont Newnan, where she had a pretty severe hernia that was actually cutting off some of her organs. So I wanted to say a special thank you to Piedmont Newnan, particularly Dr. Ibrahim Adamu, who was her surgeon and who was really critical in saving her life and quality of life. So again, a thank you to Piedmont Newnan. The Shepherd family remains grateful for your work. I also want to say thank you to Scott and Jim for being here. I know that both of you have family issues that certainly would have probably prevented me from coming, and I appreciate your commitment to the city. Moving on into new business, item I. We have a public hearing for a request to demolish structure located at 28 East Washington Street. The floor is yours.
Yes, good evening, thank you. This is a public hearing. We did receive a request to demolish the structure at 28 East Washington. There's actually two structures on this property. This small wood frame structure is the one they're wanting to remove. It is more than 50 years old, but it is not in a historic district.
Okay.
I believe we have someone from the county to speak on, if we need to.
Yep. Well, firstly, do we, can I get a motion and a second on this item? Just do we need that?
Yeah,
For,
open the public hearing.
well, then, can we open this to public? We'll open this to public hearing. Mr. Fouts, did you have anything to comment on this?
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and council members. It's a little odd to be on this side of the room. Thank you for the comments regarding our public safety agencies. There's great cooperation, first of all, so I really appreciate that with Cletus Haskell and the whole team. As this gentleman spoke, the Coweta County does own this parcel here in the city. We've owned it for a number of years. There are two structures on the location. Most of you know that this building was previously occupied by Environmental Health. We moved them into the administration building a little over a year and a half ago, so it's been vacant. We are trying to create some opportunity for parking and just secure that area. We're in the process of actually renovating the building behind that for our on-site employee clinic, so we're excited about that, but we need this additional space really for parking and just cleaning up that lot.
Great. All right, can we get a motion on this item?
I'll make that motion.
Second?
Can I close the public hearing?
Sorry.
Can I close the public hearing before we vote?
Well, I actually don't think we need to do that, but can we get a motion and a second for this item?
Mr. Mayor, it
Yes.
is a public hearing,
Yes.
so he's spoken for, you need to ask if there's anyone in the audience who wants to speak again.
Yeah, so actually, that's a good point to clarify. We did have sign-up sheets at the front. Is there anyone who would like to speak against this item? We did have sign-up sheets at the front. Nobody indicated such. So with that, can we move into we've got a motion and a second. Any discussion on the item? Okay, with that, all in favor?
Aye.
And all opposed? All right, with that, the motion carries. Next, we move into item J, consideration of amendments to the 2025 fiscal year budget for special revenue funds.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I can speak on this.
Yes.
Good evening. Please see attached to your agenda materials a list of 2025 budget amendments to special revenue funds that include the hotel motel tax fund, confiscated assets, the street fund, and ARPA funds. Notations are documented by each fund explaining the increase in revenue and/or the expense line item. Amendments are required under GASB to ensure that the council has approved all appropriations. There will be a few additional amendments, just so you're aware, to fiscal 2025, and we will bring those to you on some upcoming agendas. Just know our finance staff is still working to close out the year, and we look forward to sharing that year-end report to you in the near future. We recommend moving forward with these amendments. I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have.
All right. Did we have any public comment on this? There was not anybody on the sign-up sheet. Is there any for or against? Seeing none, motion on item J.
I'll make a motion to approve as presented.
Second.
Any discussion? All right, seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right, motion carries. Moving into item K, discussion and consideration of appointments to the City of Newnan's 2026 to 2046 Comprehensive Plan Steering Committee. Ms. Donovan, you have the floor.
Thank you very much. Good evening. So every 5 years, the city is required to update its comprehensive plan in order to maintain what is called a qualified local government status. Having that status allows us to continue to receive funding, mostly in the form of grants and loans from various state programs. The updated plan has to be adopted by October 31st of this year. However, that does include a 2 to 3 month review process by Three Rivers Regional Commission, as well as the Department of Community Affairs. So we actually aim to get it drafted and approved by you all around August 1st so we can send it through that process. Now, to begin that process, though, the Georgia Minimum Planning and Procedures Act requires council to appoint what is a steering committee to participate in the development and the plan. And their job basically is to assist staff by reviewing the previous comprehensive plan, providing feedback on goals, policies, and implementation strategies before they go before you all, and to encourage public participation. The composition of that steering committee is left up to you all as to how you'd like to see it put together. So essentially, at our last update, council chose to appoint members from most of our existing boards and commissions to serve as steering committee members. And there were also representatives from the Newnan-Coweta Historical Society, the Newnan-Coweta Chamber of Commerce, and the Coweta County School System. And in addition to the steering committee, we also have what's called stakeholder list, which we had over 760 people, and I think it's over 900 now, making up HOAs, community organizations, interested cities, other local governments, and so forth. We use that, and we provide public hearings, workshops, pop-up survey opportunities, and activities designed for input from the public. But for today, what we're doing is we're simply seeking direction from council regarding how you all want the steering committee composition to look. We'd really like to have something in place by the end of February. And I do have Chris Cole, my senior planner here who works with the comprehensive plan, to answer any questions you may have specifically regarding that process. Thank you.
All right. Can we get a motion on this consideration? Or is there any further public comment? There's no signups, but speaking for or against? All right, seeing none, do we have a motion on this?
I have a question first.
Oh, yes.
So that I can understand what we're voting on. Is this, are you looking?
Excuse me, just, I hate to interrupt you, Cynthia, but I cannot hear you down here. Could you mind
Oh, I'm
speaking
sorry, I
into your
can
mic,
turn my
please?
cheerleader voice on.
Thank
Here
you,
you go.
thank you.
I'm trying to seek clarification on what you're looking for from us. Are we voting to do you need a vote from us right now to move forward with the steering committee? And in that vote, are you looking for us to say, hey, we want to do what we did last time? Or are you looking for, hey, this is what I want to do? This is what we'd like to do. I'm trying to figure out what the motion should be.
So a couple of things we're looking for is, one, how do you want the composition of the steering committee to be? Do you want to follow what you did last time, or do you want it a different way? You want each person having 2 appointments, or whatever you feel like is the way that we should, put together our steering committee. We do, as I said, have to have staff. We're going to have one member who is an economic development practitioner. And then we also have to have, who's the last one, Chris? A council member. So one of you all will have to be on it, at least one, and it can be multiple.
Okay.
But we need to have that put together by the end of next month if we can, so we can move forward.
So may I make a suggestion? That you all, since you all know what it needs to be made up of, choose that list and bring it back to us with people who are already our appointees, who've already been, that commission. Because I don't think we saw that list last time. I think we just kind of let y'all do it. But I would like to know who ends up on that list so we can discuss that particular list of people.
So what we did last time, I'm sorry, is we actually reached out to each board and commission and asked for volunteers who wanted to serve on it, that were interested in the process. Having each of the boards represented gave us some diverse perspectives, and so that's why it kind of went that way.
So I would propose that we make a motion to discuss, then or we make a motion to consider this so we can have a discussion of what we want to see them bring back to us at the next meeting, and then continue the resolution for the next meeting.
And
With that,
I think the only concern I have, I'm sorry to cut you off, is, just in the timeliness, we're kind of under the gun.
Yeah.
We don't have a whole lot of time to fool around. And so, from what I read, the last meeting, the last steering committee did a pretty good job. It was pretty inclusive, and they got a lot of public input that we hadn't had in years prior. Maybe you could if we go ahead and move on with this, and we can always come back and amend it as needed, and then you could present the list also, but just so we can get the process moving.
yeah, and that's, so if we could move forward on that discussion of any other updates that we would like to make to that process.
I'm just
Or
saying,
do
let's
we
go ahead and
already
No.
approve the steering committee as it was last time.
Right, the same process
Just to keep
that
it
they
moving.
used,
Oh, the same process?
since it was
Same
such
process,
a
yes.
successful.
I make that motion.
I second that.
Second.
That's to keep it to get the same process.
Right,
Roger.
Oh, we named some people too?
yeah.
Okay, well, then I guess we better have our people next time.
All right, so the motion is to continue with the same process we did last time, as well as for each of the council to bring names for that committee, which we'll solidify next time. I've got a motion, a second? Is that right? All right, any discussion?
And that was in addition to the other folks from all the different boards, commissions, and authorities and all that. They're going to reach out to them as well.
Yeah, so we'll reach out and ask them for volunteers based on what we did last year from those individual groups.
Okay, and I think it's important, so that everybody understands, the steering committee, again, what is their purpose, and does it exclude anybody from having participation in the process?
No, so what it is that they are the ones who kind of help guide us, and we sit down with them, like I said, review the comprehensive plan, look at what we've done before with goals and different things like that. Stuff that comes in from our surveys, we'll work with them to see, because some ideas may be a little bit more than what we could do here in Newnan, and they'll kind of help us go through that. And then we come up with a listing that we bring to you all, and you all are going to be the actual board that adopts the final comprehensive plan.
Thank you.
Very good, thank you.
All right. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Seeing none, motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, next, moving on to item L, discussion and request to amend Chapter 3, Article 2, to allow administrative approvals of alcohol licenses. Mr. Phillips.
Yeah, Mayor, thank you. This is actually not an ordinance that's up for consideration tonight. It's actually to get direction from this body to see if you would like for staff and council to draft the ordinance. But basically what we're asking for, as you know now, alcohol licenses must come before this particular body hold a public hearing, ask staff if everything is in order, and then you consider granting the ordinance, the license. What staff is requesting is a change to make that licensing an administrative process. Number one, we think it's very business friendly. I think it can cut 2 to 3 months off of an application because of the advertising requirements and the meeting schedules. You're already asking staff if they're actually adhering to all of the requirements. If they're not adhering to the requirements, they're not going to actually be in front of you. So we think it would be very beneficial and timely and efficient to remove that process, make it administrative. We don't want to remove the process to where this body sets in a consideration of a revocation of a license in case of an infraction. We certainly would not want to move that to the staff level, so we certainly would believe that this council, this body, would need to remain in that particular authority. So presenting that out for discussion and direction. Thank you.
I have a question. Does that include these, because we have several different ways to have a liquor license. That's restaurants by the glass, the growlers, all that. Does that include the standalone package stores?
That is a great question, and you can actually give us direction on that. But as the way the ordinance is written for package stores now, when you crafted the ordinance, there's only so many licenses currently available. Mm-hmm. We do not have any availability as we sit here today. There's also a different process utilized if a license opportunity becomes available. Mm-hmm. So in that particular situation, we would want to keep that process, and we may want to keep the issuance with this particular body for a package. But for the other licenses, we would certainly recommend administrative.
Okay, that was my only question.
Yes,
Was to
good
distinguish
question.
the difference.
And I have a quick question for you. Usually, we have to have a representative present. What's the purpose of that, and how would that change any of this? And what, does it even matter?
Mr. Sears?
Is there a legal requirement they would still have to come, or?
The way the process is set up, it's a public hearing. All right, so, and we have one time had the public show up and talk against a license. That's been 15 years ago. So, all right, so as the public hearing, then this body and staff may not have the right answers. So what we said was that the applicant had to be present for the public hearing in case something occurred, so that they could come in and answer the question that might come up. And of course, like I said, in all the years that we've been doing this, there's only been one time that it was necessary for the applicant to answer questions. So.
Okay, and I remember, I think while I've been on council, there's been one time when the applicant didn't show up, at least, and, had to, delay their license until the next meeting, until they showed up.
Delayed it for 30 days because you only take those up, at the first meeting of the month, so.
And has this body ever denied a liquor license that has been rightly considered?
One that we know of.
And that was based on public input?
Yeah.
Now, keep in mind, you're not totally out of the process, because if they were to deny a license, there will be an appeal process to council. So, you won't be 100%, you just won't be bothered probably 99% of the time.
So right now, functionally, all it is that we're delaying them by 2 weeks or 4 weeks to get their liquor license, and
4 weeks.
is it always 4 weeks?
Well, because you only consider them at the first meeting. So historically, if they didn't show at that first meeting in the afternoon, it was continued to the next afternoon meeting.
Right. What I mean is that even if they do show up, then we're delaying them by up to 2 weeks or up to a month, depending on the time of year, in them getting it. And then we tend to approve it no matter what, right?
Well,
except for the one time.
That's what I said. It happened one time. So.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, right now it seems like we're largely just a 2 week to a month bottleneck. Any further public comment on this? There were no signups. Seeing none, do we have a motion?
I'll make,
So moved.
Oh, okay, second?
Second.
I think Jim beat
Yeah, I
you
think
on
he
that.
Okay.
seconded, yeah.
Yeah.
wasn't clear on my motion, but to direct staff to do the necessary ordinance, that's what I was going to say. So we have there's the motion, Jim second, so
Okay, great.
We're at-
Any further discussion on this? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right. With that, the motion carries. Item M, request for various closures for 2026 Main Street Newnan events.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I'm Jessie Branch, the Special Events Coordinator for Main Street. I'm just here tonight submitting our usual annual requests for the Main Street Newnan events, and this will be for the entirety of the calendar year for 2026. It's 4 pages long, so I'm not going to go through everything. I'm just here to answer any questions, should anyone have any.
Where can people find out more about these events?
On our website, mainstreetnewnan.com, we have all of our events listed there. We also have social media pages, Facebook, Instagram. And a lot of the businesses downtown, they have calendar magnets. You can get a magnet for your fridge too, so.
So moved.
Is the Berries and Bloom Festival, is that new? Or have I
Yeah,
just
so
been
there's
living under a
actually,
rock?
there's 3 new events this year. We have a Valentine's Day event, Love Local, Berries and Blooms is a spring, like garden springtime festival, and then we have a Christmas in July, which is pretty self-explanatory. So those are new to the schedule this year.
And are those additional and we have more events this year?
Quasi-additional, we've kind of changed some things around, eliminated some events. Some events we're doing multiple times a year, and we've condensed those down to 1. So it's about the same output of events.
Great.
So, Mr. Mayor, out there on the table in the lobby, there's some of those magnets with the nice and colorful to remind you
Yeah.
of everything.
They stick great on my dishwasher, that's for sure.
I make a motion to approve.
Second.
All right, any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Seeing none, the motion carries. Item N, request for closures for 2026 leisure services events.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. Thanks for having me today. Look forward to discussing a couple of events that we're actually taking on from Main Street Newnan to allow them to do some new activities. So those 2 events that Leisure Services Department is taking over this year would be the 4th of July Parade and the Sunrise on the Square. We had a meeting late last year to discuss different opportunities for both our departments, and we just felt like those 2 events fell a little bit more in our purview. They didn't really impact, we would say, the Main Street downtown businesses as much as I think they were intended. They're more of your leisure type of events. So it made more sense for us to pick those up, and we're happy to do it. And selfishly, as a runner myself, I'm looking forward to putting on the Sunrise on the Square.
I make a motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right.
Thank you.
With that, the motion carries. Thank you. Moving on to item O, a direction to the city manager to develop a comprehensive city attorney qualifications, search, and vetting process utilizing state and professional resources. I put this one forward just after the discussion around our city attorney search, specifically directing the city manager to look to the Carl Vincent Institute of Government at the University of Georgia and other similar resources to develop a comprehensive search around that and return to us within 60 days with such a process reflecting best practices.
So moved.
Second. Any discussion?
I'm kind of concerned about the 60 days. Our staff does really good things, but 60 days is pretty aggressive.
Oh, yeah.
And also, I have a concern because, as I understand the charter, it's council's responsibility to vet attorneys and their qualifications in the vetting process, that I would see it maybe more appropriate, maybe if the city manager could, instead of developing the qualification search and process, maybe just presenting us with what other cities do, and then we, in work session or retreat, we come up with the qualification search and vetting process as our responsibility and under our authority that we appoint and nominate and appoint a city attorney.
Yeah, so I think the instruction here is to develop a proposal of best practices for us to adopt that is clear, professional, and straightforward. Your point of 60 days, if we can certainly amend that.
But it's also, if I might, it's also not just the time, but also I don't think it's appropriate for the city manager to be required to come up with our developing a qualification matrix or whatever. I
So
think it's
then,
more of our responsibility.
Would you like to amend
It's-
that to, present with best practices?
Wait a minute.
Mr. Mayor.
Mr.
Mayor.
I have some thoughts on that.
Yeah.
Am I now?
Yes, Ms. Jenkins is acknowledged.
Thank you. It has been practice for us to use staff to do research for us, to come back with best practices, because if you're expecting all of us with full-time jobs to sit down and call all the counties and all that stuff, that's not happening. That is part of they're not making any decisions. What they're doing is gathering information. And I think that's what, or at least that's what I made a motion for, is to gather information.
So for my clarification, then, I understand the actual item is direct the manager to develop the qualifications. Now, if he's providing information, that's one thing. But to develop the qualifications, the search, and the process, that's a whole nother thing.
Then I will amend my motion to reflect that this is a information gathering exercise as opposed to presenting a complete process and recommendation for that process.
So is that an amendment to change, develop to gather information on and present best practices on?
You were the second.
Yeah.
So we are removing the words comprehensive, we're removing the words.
Develop.
No, just develop.
Just develop.
Yeah.
So could you read the motion then in its
Okay,
entirety?
well, I will say it.
Need to be
To
clear.
direct the city manager to gather information, a comprehensive information on the city attorney qualification searching and vetting process utilizing state and professional resources.
I'd like to add something. I don't know. Ken, but-
Motion to amend, yeah.
Okay. I'd like to add that he gathers his research from cities around the same size as Newnan, and, just so it's all
Comparable cities?
right
Yeah, comparable cities.
in the state of Georgia.
And then present back to council. You have that in there?
Yes.
Present back to council?
Yes, present back to council. And I would
Hard time
also,
here, yes.
I would also move to specifically name the Carl Vinson Institute of Government, just because they are a resource of the University of Georgia that's specifically tailored to that sort of information search.
Yeah, but wouldn't that be included in his discovery as just another tool in his toolbox?
Absolutely, well, yeah, that and similar resources.
So kind of like GMA, kind of like
Yes,
the legals,
GMA.
there's all sorts of, without beating the dead horse, if you will, just saying, leaving it with state and professional resources is just fine. That way, it leaves it open to wherever.
Sure.
To his professional judgment, I should say.
Fair enough. All right, so.
Mr. Mayor, can you read the current motion again for me, please?
A point of privilege, could somebody give me a pen? Mine has died.
Here, you can have one.
Thank you so much. Here, I'll give you that one back, Cynthia. All right. So direction to the city manager to gather information.
We gave her the comprehensive information, is what you said the first time.
Gather information on comprehensive city attorney qualifications, search, and vetting processes from similarly sized Georgia cities utilizing state and professional resources.
Can I just take a stab at simplifying a couple of things?
Yes.
All right, so the motion would be, for consideration of changing, is to motion for city council to direct our city manager to gather data from similar sized cities in the state of Georgia regarding their selection process for city attorney and report findings back to council.
Yes, and within a certain
leaves-
number of days. Apologies.
That leaves out some of the other resources that were in the original motion, which is to go to the Carl Vinson Institute or GMA or any of the other professional
Which I
organizations
think,
that do training
yeah,
for us.
utilizing state and
Limited to
professional
just
resources.
cities, then takes out all of those best practices they've learned from other places.
Right, so I think we leave in the utilizing state and professional resources.
Correct. That's my motion.
Okay. And sorry, can we adjust the time for return on that? Dustin,
Yes.
do you have a proposal on that?
I would just say when they're ready, because if he's going to do a comprehensive, that could be a little bit, could be lengthy.
How long will that take?
Yeah, Cletus, do you have a proposal on that?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I think it really depends on how much data we get back. I mean, obviously, I spoke with Mayor Shepherd about that earlier. Obviously, we're not going to, to look at 500 cities. In comparable cities, there's probably going to be, we're going to do the city search, we're going to do the CVOG information, GMA information, best practices. I'm confident I can get it in 90 days.
Okay.
But if something comes up, I certainly would like to come back to this body and give you a status report of where we're at. And
We can always amend.
And discuss how we're gathering the data. Again, until I get the information in my hands, how long does it take for them to respond, et cetera, and et cetera, et cetera. So some of the work we're going to do ourselves, right? But if I can have
Okay, so
90
90 days?
have 90 period,
days,
please.
yeah.
I'm
Okay.
good with that.
Yeah.
All right, so motion, do we have a second?
You pick a second.
I'm the second, okay. Well, for the amendments, motion and second. Do we have any further discussion? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Can you
All
read,
oppo-
can we read the motion one more time, please?
All right, direction to the city manager to gather information on best practices from similarly sized cities to Newnan from around the state of Georgia on comprehensive city attorney qualification, search, and vetting processes utilizing state and professional resources and return within 90 days. All right, so with that motion on the floor, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Aye.
All right. With that, the motion carries. And we move into unfinished business. Did we have any further new business motions? All right. Moving into unfinished business, item P, a request from RPM and Throttle Junkies to close Madison Street between Jackson Street and Jefferson Street on March 29th, 2026, from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. for a fundraising event. I also understand that y'all have an amendment to that proposal.
Yes. Good evening, Mayor and Council. What we'd like to do is shut it down from Greenville Street to Brown Street, if not Greenville Street to College Street. The event has grown tremendously, and I don't want there to become an issue with parking. So that's the reason we're asking for the amendment.
How much has it grown?
I'm expecting upwards of 500 motorcycles to show up.
That's some growth.
Yeah, that's pretty big.
So if I could, Mr.
Yeah,
Mayor,
please.
Chief, do you see any problems with that? Do you have any comments or thoughts on that process? It is expanding kind of what we're looking at, what they've done previously.
It is. Councilman, Mayor Council, he met with us earlier. We've looked at the map. I believe the event's going to start around 1 p.m., so it should be after the church time. Based on the roadway closures they want, we should be able to accommodate it.
Okay, thank you.
Any concerns from city staff or anyone else?
I'll make a motion to approve.
I just have
Second.
one for clarity here. About how many police officers are going to be involved in this? Or are you guys handling that on your own? Or I want to know what type of support you're going to have to give them.
So,
That'd be-
so normally, when we normally do it, they just set up the barriers and we take care of it ourselves. So I was just discussing with the owner, Joe, about if necessary, we can get a couple, at least one off-duty police officer out there, if that's what
So
they
that
need
would
to
be
do.
that would be at your expense.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
And of course, then we will have our security there also.
Okay.
Yeah, make that motion with the amended size, scope for that.
Great. Very briefly, is there any further input from, we had no other signups, but just make sure there's no other input. Your motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Oh, sorry, Jim, was that in favor or opposition? Jim, sorry, was that in favor or opposition? You were delayed.
I just said aye when you
Okay.
said in favor of.
Okay.
So
Yep.
I would assume that's an aye.
Yeah, sorry, I just couldn't hear you. Thank you.
So, Mr. Mayor, if I could just make a comment real fast. I appreciate what y'all do for the veterans community here in Newnan, Cayuga County. So it's a very good thing that y'all do.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Thank you
Mr.
so
Mayor.
much. All right, moving on to item Q, a request from Foundation Church to close South Court Square, including parking spaces, on April 3rd, 2026, from 12 p.m. to 10 p.m. for a Good Friday event. Do we have any public comment or someone who can?
I think Mr. Jason Walton.
Yeah, if you could just introduce yourself in case we have any questions about this.
My name is Jason Walton. I'm the Community Outreach Pastor at Foundation.
Fantastic. And this is April 3rd, 2026, from noon to 10. This is roughly equivalent to what y'all have done in the past, right?
Yeah, it's as of now, the way it's presented is the same thing.
Fantastic.
I make a motion to approve.
Second.
Okay. Well, first, seeing any other public input, there were no signups. All right, making clear. We've got a motion and a second. All in favor, or any further discussion up here?
Hey, I appreciate y'all reaching out to the community. A lot of letters from the business owners, like you usually do. So appreciate your effort to, make sure everybody's tied in and aware of what's going on. Thank you.
Yeah, we always try to take care of the downtown merchants, and so obviously going to them beforehand makes a lot of sense.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Seeing none, the motion carries. Item R, consideration of request from the Coweta Radio Club to install infrastructure at the Carnegie Library. If you could introduce yourself for the record.
Hi, I'm Bob Profit. I'm vice president of the club this year. We've requested that radio equipment or radio relay station for some of our, can't even get it out, some of our small handheld radios and things like that would be relayed through equipment located at the Carnegie Library. Don't know if y'all have had a chance to review the input on this or not, but do you have any questions that we can answer?
Mr. Profit, it's my understanding that we have a radio tower that might be better suitable to that purpose. Is there an issue with installing something over there rather than at the Carnegie Library?
I'm sorry, please say again.
Sorry. So it's my understanding that there was or that maybe the city has raised that we have that there's a radio tower in town that might be more suitable to this purpose. Is that something that you've considered as an alternate location?
We would prefer a location near the center of Newnan, but any available radio tower that the city has access to, for example, the old hospital on Hospital Road might be, until it's sold, might be available, but what we're talking about would be less obtrusive than the weather camera that's currently on the Carnegie Library.
Right. Thank you, sir.
Mayor Shepherd, if I may, I've had the opportunity to work with Mr. Profit over time, and I think if it's the council's pleasure, I'd be happy to meet with him to show him the towers that the city owns near Roberts Road along the link section, and we may be able to accommodate the radio club's needs there and come back.
Right.
We can come back.
I would also ask, do we have a sense of any, for example, who will be taking care of this and who the liability falls to in terms of some of this? Is that?
We can work that out. We will clearly be responsible for our equipment. We can even transfer the title of the equipment to the city if that would be more appropriate for insurance and legal purposes. That's the way there are a couple of local clubs. That's the way the Newnan Radio Club, which is a sister radio club, ham radio. I'm not sure if you're familiar with amateur radio and hams in general.
A little bit.
We're the crazy people with the big antennas, but not the CB users. But we tend to be a little more professionally and have to pass technical tests from the FCC to secure our various levels of licensing. But, for example, the Newnan Club has sold, in fact, one of our members was the president of the Newnan Club when it was technically sold to the county to go on the old fairgrounds tower near Hospital Road. So these things have been worked out with numerous municipalities. There's a amateur radio repeater on the Sonoya Water Tower as an example, and there are multiple in the Fayetteville area and the edge of Peachtree City. So this is basically to add to the amateur radio infrastructure. We support, we are hobbyists, we play with this stuff, we talk to each other. but we also have a civic responsibility to support things like local road races, walks, and things like that. And of course, in emergency situations, we stand by to provide auxiliary emergency communication to the police department, to the fire department, to emergency services in general. So we have a public service commitment as part of our hobby.
Mr. Mayor.
Yes.
I'd
Sorry,
like to make
Jim
a
recognized.
motion that we, council direct staff to work with the Coweta Radio Club to investigate possibly using some of our existing towers for their project.
And I would add, could I add to that motion to also, get us more information on the liability issues and exactly how that shakes out, and then we can continue this motion reflecting that until, can we do that within the next meeting, or?
No, we just want to move forward to work with the city in the best way we can.
Absolutely, and
So-
just from
I think,
city
Mr.
staff.
Mayor,
Yes.
I think I have a motion. Is there not a second? I don't think there's up for discussion.
Well, I made a motion to, I'm making a motion to amend your motion, but I'm making sure that we have the
Was
proper
my
language
motion
on that.
Mr. Mayor, was my motion seconded? I couldn't hear.
No.
I'm sorry, was that a question?
So, no, not for you. We're working out how to move this forward.
I have a point to make.
Yes.
If may I? Do we make a motion? I would like to make the motion to deny this for the Carnegie, but we direct him to the other sites. So in other words, there's no on the Carnegie, and it would be, he has to choose on another site. That'd be the only option. Huh?
There's already a motion on the floor.
But it died.
Okay,
Yeah,
so-
here,
but that-
let me just
Can you
restate my
explain?
motion. My motion is,
Well, we've already got a motion. Sorry, we're getting very confused with the motions here.
Oh, yes, so,
Um,
okay.
can I restate my motion?
Can you
It's
yeah.
just to direct staff.
Sorry, Mr. Thompson, your motion died. Now, Mr. Guillaume has his motion forward, so we're going to, if we have a second for that motion, we can consider it. But before that goes forward, I do have a question to that order. My concern with that, just before we get into that, is that if the Carnegie was the best location, that we wouldn't be able to consider, or that we wouldn't be considering that. That's my only
Well,
concern.
I think there's a lot of issues with the Carnegie. That's why I'm saying direct. And there's got to be other opportunities, other places. Would you agree, staff?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Could I ask a question? Usually radios, line of sight, usually radios are line of sight, that kind of
Well,
stuff. So the higher, the better generally. Is that true of this type of radio?
Definitely the higher the better. Generally line of sight, but line of sight plus. We have done some testing with the help of the city engineer, we've done some testing from the top of the Carnegie building, simply with a unit sitting this high, and we're proposing putting basically a white fiberglass pole up about 20 feet. But from there, we were able to reach a mobile unit slightly beyond Thomas Crossroads. So it's beyond visual line of sight.
No,
But
it's like, as a crow
basically-
flies, though, it's line of sight.
So,
Yes.
may I interject?
I'll just back, can I just back up for a second? Because I don't think, my motion got stepped on before it ever got finished. But all I'm asking is that we direct staff to work with the Coweta Radio Club to investigate other possible locations to install this tower. I'm not giving staff permission with this motion to grant them the right. The word other locations means not the Carnegie. So at this point, I'd rather come back with the data from staff saying these are the possible locations that might work, and then we consider those.
And I'll give a second.
That's my motion. If anybody wants to second it, great. But if not,
Second.
that's-
We've got a second from Councilman Kritko. I would like to, I'm going to make a motion to amend that motion to include, just a direction from staff to also include research on any of the liability issues, just to make sure that that's part of the consideration. Can I get a second on the motion to amend?
And I'll make the second on that amendment as well.
So can I get a motion to adopt the motion as amended?
Got a motion to adopt the motion. I'll make that.
Okay, and then seconded. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right, thank you. So with that, it's continued, and we'll have staff.
Thank
work
you
with
very much. We appreciate it.
Thank you. We appreciate your patience on this. your procedural patience on Robert's Rules, the joys of Robert's Rules. So we also, we move on to item S, a presentation request from Siegel and Moses PC on behalf of Cooper's Hawk Winery and Restaurant to revise section 3-9 of the Code of Ordinances. We do have signups for public comment here, so if we could have those folks step forward. And please introduce yourselves for the record.
Good evening, Council, Mayor. My name is Kevin Leff. I'm actually with the local law firm Sard & Leff out of Atlanta. We're working with Siegel Moses out of Chicago, which represents Cooper Hawk. And we have a guest from Cooper Hawk down here to talk more about their concept and what they're asking for.
Yeah, thank you so much for hearing our presentation. My name is Jennifer Lucina. I work for Cooper's Hawk Winery and Restaurant. Did you want me to go through the entire presentation deck, or?
I'm not sure that that's necessary. Does the council want to see this?
About how long is it a lengthy presentation? If it's on, go through it.
I think there's about 16 slides in there. I mean, I'm happy to do so.
Could you just present us the overview of
Absolutely.
your concept here? Thank you so much.
Is this the?
To the right.
To the right?
Right.
This one?
Yeah.
Oh, perfect. Nope.
Kind of want to aim it in the middle here, because that's where the, yeah.
No. All right.
Yep, it is.
We'll help you.
Okay.
There you go. We'll go to the next slide.
You can go to the next slide.
There you go.
And I'm probably going to whip through these pretty quickly. So Cooper's Hawk Winery and Restaurant, this is our 20-year anniversary, so we've been around 20 years. We just opened our first location in Georgia about this time last year. I think February 17th is their one-year anniversary. So we're really excited to come into the state of Georgia. We do have 72 locations now, and by the end of the year, we'll have 80. So we're rapidly growing. We do make our own proprietary wine.
Excuse me.
Bless you. We partner with wineries. We just did a partnership with Cake Bread Winery. We have wine club events. So we do have a robust wine club as well, over 800,000 members and growing strong. So kind of a force to be reckoned with. We're excited to come. We have a site in the Ashley Park shopping center, and are working that deal through with the landlords team, and are excited to hopefully come on board.
And could you speak, or either someone from staff, or you speak to the barrier here within the ordinance?
Yes, sir, if I may. Currently, our ordinance, alcohol ordinance prohibits the sale of wine in a restaurant environment, like as a package. So there, you cannot have a retail license and an on-site consumption license together in our current ordinance. So I don't want to take away, what their shtick is, so to speak, but it's a wonderful restaurant. They serve proprietary wine. If you're a customer there, you enjoy that wine, you can buy a bottle of that wine, they'll put it in a bag, and you can leave the store with it. So it's restaurant, on-site consumption, but then also the retail component. And currently, our ordinance prohibits that. So what they're asking for is for us to consider, or the council to consider, amending the ordinance to allow for that.
Are there further questions?
I just want, just for the public, if you don't mind,
Yes.
you talked about a wine club. You do have, this is a restaurant. Do you have to be a member of the club to go to the restaurant?
We do not,
What's,
no. It is a full-service bar, restaurant. We have a retail area in the front. It serves as a tasting room, so it provides a Napa Valley experience for those who can't fly to California and do wine tastings. So it provides that experience to our guests. You can come in and just do a wine tasting. You can come in and have appetizers at the bar. You can come in and have a full meal at the bar. We also have private dining available and a catering menu. So we are by far first a restaurant, and the wine club is the support to our business. So in addition to purchasing a bottle of wine, we also need it to cover our wine club pickup, so that our wine club members can come every month and pick up their special curated bottle of wine for the membership.
okay. Where's your other location in Georgia?
Alpharetta.
Okay. Mr. Sears, for usually for restaurant sales, it has to be the 51%. Will this be impacted by that, and how will that affect that?
Well, not knowing how much they may sell, it could. So that's part of the development of the ordinance to see if we can get, agree with that. As you know, some of this is evolving at the state level. Some of this was not permitted. Of course, we've done certain things now that, with regard to distillery, or craft distilleries, and breweries. As state law has changed, then we have evolved our ordinance. As you know, you can get an open bottle to go that they cork. So that is now allowed. So if you don't finish your bottle, they can cork it and walk out. What our ordinance doesn't permit is the change in the state law that allows the package sale of the unopened bottle. And so we would have to take a look at it. We can work with them for the most part and work through that and make it kind of a specialty thing that as far as the bar area is concerned, the on-premise consumption of liquor or beer or wine would still go with the 51%, but you would carve out the package sales and not attribute that to an alcohol sale like you would the on-premise consumption.
Because it's not open.
I think that's the way we would do it. And of course, since the first one is in Alpharetta, we can look at Alpharetta and see how they address it.
Absolutely. So there's no contradiction in state law. There's no problem with that since they already have it going. Okay, no, I appreciate it.
So what
Thank
you all are looking for from us is a motion to tell y'all to come back with an ordinance?
Yes,
Make
yes,
that
ma'am.
motion.
Yes.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right, seeing none, the city manager's office is so directed. Do we have any further items, further petitions? Seeing none, we do not have anything to enter into executive session on. So do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? So adjourned.